Khozem, considering the vast network of legal and regulatory authorities involved in country-level mitigation of financial and cyber crime, what proposition you would have, like any role enhancements or capacity building of law enforcement agencies? How would you, especially in relation to investigation and coordination? So we have a gentleman sitting here from NAP. There are so many people who are involved with the FIA, NAP and other agencies. So investigations are getting important, isn't it? So what are your views, Khozem?
Thank you very much. I don't think I would be comfortable using the word role enhancement. Well, I think that may be slightly misleading in, as we have many laws that that give us very sweeping powers. So the enabling legislation is all there. I think I would like to think about this more in terms of calibrating the laws and particularly the functioning of different state agencies. But I'll come back to calibration a little later. But in terms of the workings of the various regulators, etc., and their coordination, there's one thing that, or a few things that affect, that I'm slightly concerned about. Because, there is at various levels a lack of understanding of how this digital space works. And when you have these new laws and you have law enforcement agencies trying to implement those laws, and they are learning as we are learning, but that creates for a very difficult environment. So I think something needs to be done about that, so that we don't wind up in a witch hunt type of a situation, because for example, our Prevention of Crimes Act, Electronic Crimes Act, has certain definitions of hate crimes, cyber terrorism that are so wide that many things can be, stuck into it. And so, so we have to focus on a primary regulator here. I mean, the primary regulator here is the state bank. I mean, they understand, they regulate, they approve new business models, promote innovation, etc. And I still think that as far as the enforcement agencies are concerned, their role should kick in when there is criminality involved, and also when the main regulator, let's say the state bank, gives the go-ahead. I mean, that's not uncommon. For example, in our NAB laws, a bank cannot file any claim against a defaulter until the state bank approves. I think this will give a lot of comfort to a lot of the stakeholders, a lot of people deal with. Now, as between SECP and State Bank, there needs to be, we need to look at how they interact with each other. Because we have the Payment Systems Electronic Funds Act 2007, where the primary regulator is the state bank. However, I now understand, let's say, mutual funds. They're coming up with cards that you can go to an ATM and redeem units, right? So I think there's a little bit of a confusion right now, who regulates what. So we need clarity that as far as payments is concerned, the state bank, and as far as redemption is concerned, it will be the SECP. But this is just one example, and these things will get more and more complicated, and we need to start thinking about a better role allocation amongst, so that there's no multiplicity of regulations and confusion on that front. The other word that is now, Fintech is an old word, but another new word that people are now talking about is RegTech. So, now we need a set of regulations that are, much wider in scope, which promotes innovation, yet protects consumer interests, etc., etc. So what I have in mind is, we'll probably go into an era where there is so much digital information, there is so much AI, that the existing laws may not fully be capable of dealing with it. So while the State Bank has framed an excellent enterprise technology governance risk management system, it still has, certain confidentiality provisions, maintenance of servers in Pakistan, or cloud computing for administrative purposes only. That won't fit well as we move to the next generation of how we go into a full open banking space. So I think we need to start thinking about evolving those regulations, I will also understand that if with this technological innovation, even the regulatory function can change dramatically because, I can see Irfan Ali Saab sitting in a spaceship with his screen in front and everything real time is being uploaded, all, the suspicious transactions, etc. So the whole paradigm, there'll be a whole paradigm shift of how the regulators also conduct themselves, and these technology will also greatly assist their regulatory oversight function, and this may not be that far away. And the final point I want to make here in the context of keeping pace with digital financial services is that...
Khozem, if you could bring this...
Sorry.
The microphone, yes.
Is that, we have regulations relating to PSO, PSPs, etc. But their AML or KYC guidelines have yet to be developed. Using our traditional anti-money laundering laws to do KYCs for PSO or PSPs don't work because there is no way to send manual information to the FMUs, and we have to come up with a new way where we start doing know your customers type stuff. In fact, what I understand is things are going to progress from know your customer to know your data. And we need quite a lot of secondary legislation to make sure that large numbers of customers can be onboarded. And I think we're making good progress, but there's a long journey ahead on the regulatory landscape.
Thank you, Khozem.